I call the honourable member for Lindsay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Foreign Affairs. Will the Minister update the House on the important role women can play in combating terrorism and preventing the radicalisation of vulnerable young people?
I call the honourable Minister for Foreign Affairs.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for Lindsay for her question. I know how concerned she is about this issue. The Australian government is engaged in a broad and holistic, sustained and integrated campaign to combat terrorism using all of the resources available to us. Defence personnel in Iraq to assist the Iraqi security forces build capability to take on the terrorist organisation Daesh, our law enforcement and intelligence agencies, and the counter-narrative, which is so important, of our democratic and inclusive values. And this response is needed because we know of around 110 Australians who are currently fighting with Daesh in the Middle East, and around 155 or so who are supporting it home here in Australia. 30 to 40 Australian women are known to be either engaging in or supporting terrorist activity in Syria, Iraq and here in Australia. And it defies all comprehension for women in particular to support extremist groups like Daesh, given that it is women and girls who are so often disproportionately affected by the brutality of terrorist groups. Tragically, women are playing a role in promoting the violence, but more importantly, women are playing an active role in preventing it. Last week, I addressed the regional ministerial meeting on countering violent extremism that was hosted by our Attorney-General, and the Prime Minister spoke at that summit. It was held in Sydney, and I spoke about the role women can play in combating radicalisation, and we were able to share ideas and insights and experiences with women leaders from our region. Amina Zalmia Razul Bernardo from the Philippine Centre for Islam and Democracy outlined how her organisation is mobilising women from madrasas to spread messages of peace and democracy, and she's helping women find their voices to challenge extremist narratives. Yeni Zanuba Wahid from the Wahid Institute in Indonesia outlined the work being done to spread moderate Islam's message of female equality and to highlight the positive and active role women can play in promoting a moderate Islamic message. And as I said at the summit, Daesh adopts the same tactics as online sexual predators, grooming young targets in isolation and seeking to pull them away from parents and friends. And so this can happen to individuals even though they have family and friends around them. So women must be a key part of our response. Today I met with Jamuna El Matra of the Australian Women Muslim Centre for Human Rights, and I discussed with her how the Australian government can work with her organisation, work with Muslim women, and we discussed the ways the government can engage with the groups here who are seeking to promote the counter-narrative to defeat terrorism, defeat that brutal ideology. So, Madam Speaker, this government is absolutely committed to supporting Muslim women, including the leaders who are taking steps to combat terrorism at home and abroad.
Yeah.